sourdough Sam.
No Sourdeath Sam.
Sourdeath Sam.
Sourdeath Sam.
Sourdeath Sam.
Disrespect to Sourdeath Sam will not continue.
What's up, guys? It's Sourdeath Sam. Happy to be here. I actually almost called out of this experience. Almost decided that I was too tired, that, I'd already missed Wednesday because I was driving up from LA, but fuck that. Fuck that. You guys are the reason why I'm here, because I love you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
We've also got some great news today, right? Randy Gregory. We'll get into that in a minute. But I do want to say that this week is a really exciting week. Clearly, as 49ers fans, we've had this on our calendars for a while. The Dallas Cowboys are coming into town here to Levi's Stadium, and we're going to really see what we're made of, right? I mean, the teams that we've played, it feels like there's a little bit of there's more meat on the bones as far as teams that we think are really going to make it into the postseason. And so with that being said, the Cowboys, although they did just lose to the team that we did just beat, I do believe that they still hold a lot of opportunity to be very formidable, not only this weekend, but going into the playoffs. We've obviously had our matchups before with them. They aren't quite runaway victories, but we have gotten the W. But we'll get into that in a minute. Aside from that, obviously this Randy Gregory news, very exciting. It seems like we sort of got the best end of a bad deal for the Broncos. All things considered, I think that's a W. We will get into that more as well. We have Jason Aponte wanting to call in. Wow. Well, buddy, you will get your chance. We got a few things to go through, a few bullshit bits that I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to open up the floor. You guys get to call in. You guys get to give me a piece of your mind. Jason Aponte, he's going to tell us how much he loves our special teams unit. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes,
but I would be remiss. I really wish I hadn't thrown my slide whistle because I might need that later. First of all, if you're going to get a slide whistle on Amazon, just spend the couple extra dollars for the metal one. Hold on, I'm going to grab it. Okay, everyone calm down. I'm going to grab my my whistle. Okay, I'm not leaving. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, so this is a slide whistle. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a slide whistle. What it's supposed to do is go so see, it kind of loses its oomph at the end. So I can really only get to, which is that's fine, right? But I kind of want the whole I really want the whole depth there, but I'll keep this to the side. I don't know when that'll come in handy, but Amazon, if you're on there looking for a slide whistle, just splurge for the metal one. I think it's going to be a lot better.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? Hit the likes or I'll fight people. Dude, Jason Aponte, I love you, bro. 100%. This guy's Sammy Sour D. Ryan Hensley. 2 friends of the show all at once. Can't beat it. Speaking of can't beat it, I got a friend, and he goes by the name of Kyle 5000. And Kyle 5000 is a special friend of mine because he's Kyle Shanahan, but a robot. So if you've never met him, now's your chance. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle 5000. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Obviously, big news today with Randy Gregory. Hoping that turns out into our defense, getting taken to another level.
Hey there. Yes, signing Randy Gregory is a significant move. He's a talented pass rusher and can make a big impact on the defense. What are your thoughts on the acquisition?
I think it was smart contractually. I mean, I think, Denver was sort of, they didn't really have many options, right? I mean, they have a player that they clearly wanted to put to the side in order to put some younger players in front of him. And, he had some excellent seasons in Dallas that commanded a contract that, the Broncos at the time found commensurate. So we'll see. But I do want to know, we're about to face the Cowboys. They're obviously a very large foe in terms of our Super Bowl aspirations. What do you think about the matchup? Do you think that they're going to pose any problems to your offense?
Facing the Cowboys is always a marquee matchup given their storied history. They have a potent offense and a defense that can be disruptive. It's essential for our O-line to protect the quarterback and establish the run game early. Defensively, containing their passing attack will be crucial. It's going to be a battle, but with the right game plan and execution, we can come out on top.
Hell yeah, bro! Oh, Kyle, can't thank you enough. I appreciate it. Kyle 5000, everybody. Kyle 5000, give it up. Love that guy. If you want to follow Kyle on Twitter, it's at the Kyle 5000. You can actually tag him under tweets. He will respond just as he would with me on the show. And he's just a fucking asshole. So make sure you get excited for that. Yeah, baby. All right, we got some comments. Wow, surprising amount of people here on a Friday night.
Yes, sir.
But I like it. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Kyle 5000 getting some love. Love you, Kyle 5000. That's really nice. Kyle 5000 for Prez. Very nice. Oh, Kyle, please notice me. I love you so much. He loves you too. He loves you too, and you know that because you heard him say it to your face. Okay, so I'm going to introduce a new segment. In this segment, I have not done before. It is brand new. I wish I had intro music for it. Let me see if this whatever thing I use has like stock music that I could do for this. This one's called Countdown Intro 10 to 0. Whatever, fuck it. Here we go. Who's ready? Are you ready? Ooh, brother, you ready? Oh, it's going to take too long. That's like 30 seconds. Fuck that. Okay, we're going to just move right in. This one's called My Girlfriend's Key. I fucked up. Give me a second. Just talk to me about your day in the comments. Because I need to do something. I'm producing the show. I'm in the show. This is tough, right? I'm trying to pull a lot of stunts, and frankly, I'm not very good at it. But with enough troubleshooting, I eventually will overcome. So if you guys wouldn't mind, let me know how your day is going in the comments. I will, in real time, respond to you because I love you. And the person you are is the person you were supposed to be. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, I got a comment in there. I will get to you right now. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, last thing. Guys, I love you for being patient. Patience is such a good virtue, and I am just grateful for all of you for being so nice to me. And here we go. Okay, so let me take a look. I only cried once today, so it was a good day. One cry a day keeps, keeps your therapist employed. Okay, so we got my girlfriend's keys to the game, folks. My girlfriend's keys to the game. And let me just preface by saying that she does not know football very well. So I'm very excited to share with you what her keys are. So the first key for the 49ers beating the Dallas Cowboys is choose your most muscular player to be up front, which, as Nick Bosa says, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And it's just so true. You know, you want a big, beefy boy right up front. You know what I'm saying? Just beefy boys up front, get the job done. Key number 2 to beating the Dallas Cowboys. What's that one guy's name? He's very young and he is or could be my son. He needs to make as many touchdowns as he can. Hell yeah, bro. I don't even know who she was talking about. I was either Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey. I think it was Brock Purdy because Christian McCaffrey's like not that young anymore. So key number 2 to beating the Dallas Cowboys is the guy who could be my girlfriend's son needs to make as many touchdowns as he can. And now the final key to the game, according to my girlfriend who does not watch football very often, is defense, defense, defense. Wait, is that for football? So there you have it. The keys to the game. My favorite is the big boys up front. You know, they got to do something. Kinlaw and Prey. Yeah, you know, I feel like we could all use a little Kinlaw and Prey in our lives. And you better believe that she knows ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you guys something. And just keep this between you and me, right? I've been doing these Sourdeath Sam $5 pick'ems. I haven't fucking won a single one. Not a single one. It's garbage. But this time, today, I picked the winners. Yurt. Let's see who these winners are, huh? All right. Here's the deal. Sam Laporta is the fucking man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's gonna get a touchdown. You see that little chili to the right of the player? That means that I'm getting a little extra sauce on the bet. You feel me? The modified by 4.1, that's coming from these little peppers. And I put down $5. I could win $410 if I'm right this time, which I will be. Zay Flowers, I think he's going to get a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, I think he's going to get a touchdown too. And Damian Pierce, sorry, I was going to burp. Fuck, I was burp right in front of you. Damian Pierce, he's going to get a touchdown too. And Tua, I think he's going to get 3. That's what I think. So if I'm right, I get $410 off of $5. And if you think you got a better bet than me, go ahead, do yourself a favor. bit.ly/Sourdeath Sam. Or just go to the Underdog app, promo code Sourdeath Sam. And if anyone knows anyone who's actually at Underdog, tell them to give me a call. Because I emailed them, they didn't give me a sponsorship. Garbage. All right, boys, I got one last little thing I'm going to do before we get started talking about actual football stuff. Guys, you know what time it is. It's time to pull out. This is the segment I do where I dig through these packs of vintage football cards from 1990 and 1991, and I find me some winners. You feel me? One of these is going to have a player I recognize, and I'm going to put on some gloves. I'm going to find out. It's my favorite part of the segment. I use these for like marinating chicken, marinating steak, cutting steak, working with meat, you know. And honestly, I love it. It makes me feel like a real chef. And honestly, it's probably just way more sanitary. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes. And I'm going to pick one of these just at random. I like this. I like the way this one feels. Oh, okay. Off to a good start. I see a 49ers player. This is very promising. Come on, camera. Whatever. It's just dead set on me. It's locked into my eyes. You can't resist. And I can appreciate that. Okay, I got to be very careful. Okay, big money. Oh, and here's the thing with this segment is I'm not going to show you every card. I'm going to read them out loud, but until I recognize a name, then it's all bogus to me. And if someone watching sees, here's a name you recognize, just let me know off the rip. Kevin Green, Kevin Mack, Clarence Verdin, Carl Zander, Mike Quick, Lewis Sharp. Ooh, Hall of Famer, Franco Harris. This is even fucking... The camera's being real difficult today. It's just dead set on my pretty eyes. But take my word for it. Franco Harris. All-Pro, Tom Newberry. Bitch! John Elway. Let's go. Ooh, John Elway. Let me get some fucking love in the fucking chat, bro. Ooh, John Elway. That's probably worth like $2. Keith Sims, Pat Beach, Michael Carter. Hey, 49er in the house. You like that? I like that. And Mel Owens. Okay, so not bad. Not bad. I wish the camera would rack focus for these, but hey, I got a John Elway. Hey, John, I know you're not the GM anymore, but thanks for the fucking pass rusher, buddy. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see what's going on in the comments. Elway before his skull exploded. Aww. Well, he sure tried his best. I'll tell you that. Oh, Kevin Green was in WCW? Ooh. Love that. Did not know that. Very sick. Very sick. All right, guys. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link into the chat, and I'm praying to God that I do this correctly. It's my first time doing a call-in show. Very excited. Let's give this a shot. Weren't able to comment. Might have to go into my actual YouTube channel. Stand by. Let me tell you about my favorite thing about you guys. You guys keep my life interesting because... Hold on. You guys keep my life interesting because I just appreciate chopping it up with you guys. It's really rad. And... Oh, did my comment? Okay, so it did go in there. Okay, cool. I just fuck with you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are really cool. And you guys inspire me to want to just keep going. Because I'll be real. Today, didn't want to hop on at all. I was tired. Didn't get a lot of good sleep. For some reason, my girlfriend's dog likes to wake up at like 3 in the fucking morning and take a shit. Just go to the bathroom before you go to bed. You know what I'm saying? But she's cute as hell. So I let her do it. We got our first guest in the house. And honestly, like, he's just a fucking man. So I'm just going to bring him on as soon as I can hide this comment. So you might recognize this guy. You might know him from actually a show that I've done previous. And I'm very happy to have him on to share the airwaves with me. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Aponte. Hold on. This thing's all fucked up. Hold on. Get out of here for a second. Get out of here. Hold on. Let me do this. Here we go. Yeah, just get out of here. Hold on. All right, here we go. There we go. Oh, fuck, bro. Hold on. Do you mind if I bring on one more friend? It's just too perfect. Yeah. All right. You know this guy. You're cool with this guy. You like him.
I am.
Ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Pasquini.
Oh.
Dog, we accidentally ended up in an SRO episode. I like it. Dude, you got the glass. I got my nerd glasses on. I got an eye infection, so I can't be. I guess I got the double shade.
Let's just say that.
Dude, I know. Well, the nerd glasses and the slide whistle kind of go well together. How are you guys? Jason, we'll start with you. What's your favorite thing that happened today?
My favorite thing that happened today is I only cried once today. I cried once, just one time, and that's down from 5. So one is good. We're making progress. But my favorite thing that has overlapped that is being on with you.
Oh, bro. God damn it. You make me feel so good. Pasquini, what was your favorite thing that happened today?
Oh man, I won a game of FIFA today. I'm sorry. Let me get the branding right. EAFC. Won online actually. So I won like 3-0. That was pretty impressive. I'm really bad at that. It's not good. I also I changed my answer. I had a podcast with Jason today.
Aww. Yeah,
that was nifty.
I know you guys. You guys were live when I was in the car. So appreciate you guys always keeping me occupied. So honestly, this worked out swimmingly because I just wasn't even sure if I was going to come on, so I didn't bother to call a guest. But you guys are pretty fantastic. So why don't we just talk ball, brothers? Why don't we talk ball? So
Yes, sir.
let's start with the game that we've just played, right? We had the Cardinals. I had concerns it could be a trap game. They just beat the team we're about to play. And frankly, I think that they're putting up a lot more fight than I thought they were going to before the season started. So I'm going to start with the guy with the coolest glasses. So Andrew, what did you see out of that game that the 49ers put on tape? And how did you feel about the Cardinals when the game was over and you got a chance to see them against the 49ers?
The easy thing to say is Christian McCaffrey is very good at football.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to take that answer and Jason
Certified.
real quick.
Certified.
Watching him is very fun, and I think we talked on Monday about just how insane it is to have a really good running back in this offense, because we always bragged about how good of a run offense the Niners had without a star. It was just kind of Matt Breida here, Carlos Hyde there, sort of thing. Now you get the running, not only a good running back, but 5-6 years ago, it was this Christian McCaffrey kid looked really good at how to hand off.
Yeah.
And he was a guy that people talk about. And we're finally seeing it. So I'm going to take the Christian McCaffrey answer. For the Cardinals side of things, they're just a competitive football team. I mean, it didn't really feel like it, but the Cardinals got within 4 in the third quarter, and it never felt that close. So it was one of those things where they just impressed with how competitive they stay. Josh Dobbs is very good, and it's really the point where we had the conversation last Friday. Where can you imagine how good this team would be with Kyler Murray? And I know there's an echo. I'm going to try to figure it out in a second. I'm going to mute myself. It might be my side. I apologize. But yeah, man, they're just a competitive football team to the point where I picked every who they're playing, but I picked them to beat whoever they were playing. So I feel good about what the Arizona Cardinals look like, and they gave us a little scary, even though it didn't feel that close.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I really respect about them is that they almost had every opportunity to just kind of be the team everyone thought they were going to be. I mean, new head coach could be a recipe for disaster, especially considering that the public wasn't really as fired up about him as, say, Dan Campbell, et cetera. And yet they come and they consistently perform at a level where they are capable of competing every game that they're in. I don't put them in the tank category. It does not look like they're trying to be in the tank category. And that is impressive for me to see. Jason, what did you see on Sunday with regards to the 49ers that impressed you or scared you, and the Cardinals as far as what your takeaways were about their performance so far in the season?
I think Jason dropped out actually real quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think he's trying to get his settings right.
I need to. Okay, let me drop out too, because there's a weird echo on my side. I don't know if you're getting it.
Oh no, I'm
gonna drop out real quick too, and then I'll fix it.
Oh God, echoes cray. Sorry guys.
We'll get this. I promise.
Guys, I'm sorry. Maybe this is my fault. Maybe this is all on me.
I don't know if it is. I don't hear the echo now.
Okay. Could have been Andrew.
I did before. I think it was because when I joined from YouTube, it did that. I just jumped out and I jumped into Safari. So I mean, I don't know. I could definitely hear it though.
Chat, are we better?
I think it's a little bit better.
Okay.
I think what has happened is you have to jump out from YouTube and jump already able to do it if you're going to do it off the phone.
Got it. So Now that I got you here, it
So
seems
what
like
was
the
the
echo.
question again? I'm sorry. I was just hopping about.
Wait, so he hears Jason's echo too. Hold on. Maybe let me try one last thing. Sorry, guys. Is this better?
I'd have to talk, right? Like, you want me to talk?
Yeah. We're sort of just talking to the chat right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll keep going. What did you think about the performance against the Cardinals?
Well, I think, again, the 49ers just did what they were supposed to do. And I despise the argument about like, oh, well, it was just the Cardinals. What were they? But if the 49ers beat the Cardinals by 3, you'd immediately run to say, well, the 49ers are not like that. So when they do exactly what they're supposed to do and eventually pull away from a team that is better like that, like, I don't understand how you can get to this point, right? Now, you come up on this game against Dallas, and Dallas not only lost to Arizona, I think it's the fashion in the way that they lost to Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, Arizona went in there and it just punched them in the mouth. If you want to make excuses for the fact that Tyron Smith didn't play football that day and they were missing another starting offensive lineman, fine. But that has nothing to do with run defense. And that has nothing to do with a team that literally was doing something that you thought they would do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Arizona went in there and they were like, oh, well, we're going to throw the football all of a sudden with Joshua Dobbs, and they did that, okay, I could see how you didn't see that coming. But what about what Arizona did in that game against Dallas implies that something that you didn't see coming, right? Like, they ran the football with James Conner. They ran the football with Joshua Dobbs. They ran the football with Rondale Moore. So for me, it's what I took away from that game was this. It was the first time the Dallas Cowboys actually had to put things on film offensively, because the first week against the Giants, that game was over after 10 minutes, right?
Totally.
Like, they just fumbled the football away and it was all touchdowns. The Jets can't sustain drives and they can't score. Fine, that game's over. You don't really have to do anything. Even last week against the New England Patriots, you pull Mac Jones in the third quarter, the Dallas Cowboys haven't put much to film offensively. They haven't, because they haven't had to. But the game that you did have to, it looked terrible, and it was against a team that literally did what they were supposed to do and what you thought they would do against you. How am I supposed to feel as a 49er fan knowing that they can do that plus more, run the football against you? Am I supposed to be nervous now?
Totally. I mean, I think the way I feel about it as I look to this matchup is I respect on paper the potential that team has to create damage. I do not feel intimidated. I think that we have put together consistent offense in a way that, frankly, is the best I've seen in the Shanahan era as far as it being consistent back to back to back. Defensively, I even think people are kind of shortchanging our defense. Yes, we have we have matters with regards to our secondary that could be improved, but I do not think we are in a position where our defense is such a liability that it puts us at a major disadvantage. I just think that we're so spoiled with the defenses we have had years prior that this feels like a step backwards. But again, I feel pretty damn confident about what we've put on tape with the consistent offensive performances we've shown. And if we can get pressure on Dak Prescott, and if we can just hold the line as much as we can in the secondary, I think we can put together another victory and we can continue this undefeated streak. And as long as we're not taking this game for granted, which I do not think we are, because quite frankly, I feel like our players have been eyeballing this game since before the season started, I think we have all the tools, capacity, and talent to get a W on this. So
yeah,
that's just my opinion on that. And let's, might as well at this point just quickly address the elephant in the room, which is our new potential pass rusher here. We've got someone we traded a 6th-round pick for in Randy Gregory. He put together a couple of 6-sack seasons in Dallas, which, speaking of which, is the team we were playing. 6 sacks, at least as far as 2022 stats are concerned for the 49ers, would have put him in second as far as sacks on the team. we hope that he can achieve what he achieved back then. The Broncos thought the same thing. Do we think things will be different in San Francisco?
Yeah, because Denver doesn't have Chris Kocurek, right? Like Chris Kocurek is the whisperer.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of guys. Arden
Yes,
Key was the one.
sir.
Jason, he still owes me a Coke from earlier today because we said it at the same time. Arden Key, Kerry Hyder, they released him today, but he was very good under Chris Kocurek, and there's a lot of other examples for it. To me, at best, this is a situation where Randy Gregory is the best case scenario, the best opposite of Nick Bosa the 49ers have had, unless you want to believe the idea of what D Ford could have been. I could see an argument there because Niners never really saw fully what D Ford was.
Yeah.
But if Gregory can stay healthy, he's easily the best. But worst case scenario, it is a situation where he's just a really solid rotational piece in a place where there's already pretty decent rotational pieces. I know Drake Jackson gets kind of ups and downs, and Cleveland Farrell hasn't quite been what people had hoped, but it's still a decent enough rotation. I'm hoping that less snaps for them because of what Gregory brings maybe makes him produce a little bit better, kind of like we're seeing with Javon Kinlaw on the interior.
Totally.
But
great point.
At minimum, this is a really good rotational piece that the 49ers picked up.
Yeah, and for so little, we didn't have to tussle in a free agency bidding war here. I mean, we basically inherited the contract that the Broncos had without any of the guarantees that we had to deal with.
Yes.
So hey, look, if it doesn't work out, next year we're short a 6th rounder, but 15 picks later, we've got the pick we got in return, basically.
Yeah.
So personally, it feels like a good fit to me. It feels like a low-risk operation. Jason, when you saw this trade, based on what you've seen and what you've sort of looked over, how do you feel about what went down, and what potential do you see? Do you think this could be different than what it was in Denver?
Well, first of all, JKBG, Jason Aponte reporting from Jigsaw's basement, it has got me completely losing it. It's so good. No, I think obviously I kind of pined for the idea of Randy Gregory being there because of a rotational piece. But I do think that this defensive line has been missing the speed rush element that D Ford has brought. And I think they would have thought that Drake Jackson would have immediately done that, right? And I think the 3-sack game that he had in week 1 was a bit of a mirage. And in not a bad way, I just remember watching the film and saying, well, that's because Eric Armstead collapsed the pocket and sent that way, and he finished, right? Like, it wasn't like Drake Jackson was just beating people off the line. But Randy Gregory gives you that speed rusher element on the other side of Nick Bosa that can be what made that 2019 defensive line so special. When Bosa was on one side, D Ford was on the other side. I think because of the way the D4 thing ended, people discount how effective he was. But Randy Gregory can give you that for one season. When you incorporate the fact that it's veteran minimum, literally $840,000. You don't pay anything. He probably is not going to be on the team next year. So it doesn't cost anything. All of that money that you saved, the $40 million, that comes right back and you're fine. This is one of those all-in moves that isn't all in to the fact that you're giving up first or second or third round picks. And I think that shows you that this team is still in a position where they're going to make shrewd moves to push this team over the top. And this may be seen as one of those moves that we're just like, how on earth did everyone let this happen? And for so little, even if it blows up in their faces and Randy Gregory does nothing, it's literally a drop in the bucket, and it costs you nothing. This is the highest reward, lowest risk move they could have made in terms of what they're doing with the defensive line. And all the questions you have about the secondary can be erased if there's someone on the other side of Nick Bosa consistently getting pressure on the quarterback, getting to the quarterback like Randy Gregory can, especially if you're going to use him situationally.
It's almost a suspiciously perfect fit. Like, I really do wonder, I mean, how were they really about to say, were there really no other offers on the table? It wasn't like we offered them a 3rd rounder, right? A 6th rounder is not a whole lot. I mean, I would presume that most teams probably said, hey, we'll give you a 7th rounder for this. And we're the only ones who said, hey, we'll bump you up a few spots if we just make this happen. But truthfully, you guys are right. I mean, we put ourselves in a better position by taking someone who we know at minimum has achieved 6 sacks twice in their career at some point. So whether or not we think they can get there again, obviously that is the big question. But what do we lose to try to figure that out? Not a lot. Not a lot at all. And I think if there was any way we could have structured an operation to commit as little as possible to potentially get as high a reward as we could, this was the situation at hand. What do you think about it? Go ahead.
Yeah, and the depth is going to be insane when they trade for Brian Burns. That's going to be fun, right?
It's going to be next level. Yeah.
We're going to speak it into existence. Edge 3. But no, for real. Everything you said was so spot on. It is a move that really shows that the Niners are all in, because maybe I haven't seen anything if there was any offers. Have you seen anything if any other teams are offering anything?
I haven't seen anything. I
haven't seen anything. So maybe a lot of teams were just waiting for him to hit free agency.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how the Niners got such a good price on this. And it was interesting that, the news came out Wednesday that he was being released. So no news coming out that he was released made it interesting and led to the trade. Obviously, God, I'm all over the place. Sorry, I'm a little tired right now.
Me too.
Long day. But yeah, the Gregory move, it feels like that all-in move that Jason Aponte mentioned. Because it is a rental, but who knows? Maybe he plays out of his mind and likely plays him out of a contract with the Niners, but who knows? Who knows what happens after that? But right now, all that matters is the Niners have improved a spot that they didn't have to necessarily improve, but they got maybe the best case player they could have gotten at this point.
Completely. Jason, anything else to add before we hop on to our Cowboys 49ers preview?
I love the move. It just shows an emphasis from this front office to improve this roster and be proactive and not reactive. You shouldn't wait for an injury to someone to make a move, right? Like and that's always been kind of my thing, like with the draft.
Oh no.
Thank you. Oh, there you go.
He's got that New Jersey Wi-Fi, dude.
Hey man, it's not ideal.
New York, Manhattan's sucking up all the good Wi-Fi, baby. You can't be stuck in Jersey trying to be fucking live streaming.
Dude, unbelievable.
Just get out of here. All right. Well, we don't need Jason for this. Hold on. Randy Daytona is giving us compliments. Gotta love that. Holy shit. Look at these 3 sexy motherfuckers. Well, it's 2 sexy motherfuckers and some motherfucker who's paying the fucking base Wi-Fi plan at Comcast, New Jersey. All right. He's back. Yep. Go ahead. All right. We got Jason Aponte back.
No, my bad again. Jigsaw got me again. No, it's indicative of a front office that is being proactive and not reactive, right? Like, and that's always been my idea with the draft process. It's like, well, we don't need this position right now, but injuries happen. And luckily, for the 49ers right now, knock on wood, everything's been fine when it comes to injury-wise, right? Like, you miss Ayuk for a game, but it's not serious. You miss certain players here and there. But they've largely avoided the injury bug. And for the 49ers to literally look at it and say, we know this better than anybody when it comes to injuries, and we know this better than anybody about losing people, to build depth and instead of, it's not about needing it, it's about having it when you don't need it and not, needing it when you don't have it.
Completely.
And I think that's the best way to put it. It's just like Randy Gregory being here is just indicative of a front office that understands you need to continue to build your depth and always think about worst case scenario when it comes to things. And a lot of the coverage issues that you guys have, because I've laid it out a few times in terms of Steve Wilkes in his zone, can be curbed if your pass rush is getting there faster, is getting there better. And I think that's one of the ways that you do it. Now, sure, offenses are coming in. It's not like the offenses are walking in and like, hey, wow, that Nick Bosa guy is really good. I didn't know he was good. I didn't know Eric Armstead was good. I didn't know Javon Hargrave was good. They're coming in and they want to get the ball out quickly. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with stocking the cupboard. It's almost like a doomsday prepper. And I think that's honestly the best way the 49ers should be thinking about it in this way, because they have so few holes. It's like, just stock the cupboard at this point.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jason, real quick.
Yes,
You're gone and I
sir.
said it, but the depth of the edge position is going to be so much better when they get Brian Burns in a couple weeks too.
Yeah.
When we get Brian Burns and J.C. Horn for 4th and 5th round picks, I think we're gonna put to bed the fact that Adam Peters needs to be the GM, and the fact John Lynch won a bunch of points for me today.
Yeah.
When he stomped out the Trey Lance to Dallas,
Oh yeah, the Trey Lance Intel pipeline.
But then throwing shade at the Houston Astros and saying it's not like you can bang garbage cans. That is my GM now. Whoa, is that my GM?
Yes,
that
sir.
That is so good. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, yes, sir.
I completely agree. That was impressive behavior from our general manager, John Lynch. Guys, Sunday, we play the Cowboys. We've been looking for this game for a very long time. What do we need to be looking out for as far as where we stand to gain ground and where we may be vulnerable? Jason, we'll start with you.
No, this was like I think what Andrew said. Basically, this was the game that everybody's had circled the entire time. And you can bet the 49ers feel the same exact way, right? Like, you don't overlook anyone. But when you look at the first 4 weeks and you realize, okay, this is the week that Sunday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys, this is the game, this is your litmus test. I didn't learn anything about the San Francisco 49ers throughout these first 4 weeks. I knew they could win all of these games, and they won them in the same fashion that, it was in the range of possibilities. But right now, this is the game that you can really put a stamp to, and you can put a thumbtack to and say, this is where your team is right now. And for me, beating the Steelers, beating this team, beating that team, who cares? I mean, they were going to do that regardless. When it comes to Dallas, they match up with you so well. They do a lot of the things that you want to do in terms of like pass rush and all those things. I only learn about the 49ers when they play teams that are on their level. And I know we hate the Dallas Cowboys so much, but to be frank, the Dallas Cowboys are in that tier that the 49ers are in the NFC right now. And that's it. For me, this is going to be the time where the 49ers can – there's one little narrative right now with the 49ers is, they haven't beat anybody. They haven't beat anybody, right? They haven't beat, Steelers, Rams, who cares? Hi, Jim Everett. Rams don't count. None of that stuff, right? Don't matter, right? You beat teams that you're supposed to beat. It's time to beat a team that is in your tier.
Yep.
And if the 49ers do that, now what are you going to say? All of the media and all of the mainstream media and First Take and all those guys.
Stephen Ruiz.
When the 49ers beat the Dallas Cowboys, when they beat them, will absolutely run with the fact that the 49ers are the team to beat. You need to be afraid, blah, 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 this, and that. This is the game that is the litmus test. It was never any of the first 4 weeks. All of those teams are not as good as the 49ers, and they need to beat a team that is in their tier, and that's what the Dallas Cowboys are.
Totally. And when I was looking forward to the schedule before the season started, I saw the Steelers being potentially competitive. I saw the Giants being potentially competitive. And what we ended up, hindsight 2020, is we had 4 teams that were just very vulnerable, that at this stage of the game do not look like they are going to be playoff teams, or at minimum playoff teams going deep. And you've got the Cowboys, who we knew from the jump had the same type of roster potency as far as what they are capable of at their highest peak, that this matchup has been waiting to collide for a long time. So Andrew, when you were looking at this matchup, what type of dynamics are you looking at as far as where we're going to be vulnerable, where we find strength, and how do you think this is all going to end up?
Well, I think the biggest thing to me is the big play factor. Dallas doesn't allow a lot of big plays. They've only allowed 15 explosive plays,
Andrew,
10 plus yards. Yes.
Real quick.
Yes.
They've played the Giants, the Jets,
yes,
and the New England Patriots.
Yes, no, that's absolutely fair.
Absolutely known for their explosive plays.
Zach Wilson, you never know with Zach Wilson.
Matt Jones pushing the ball down the field 100%.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. But on the same side as this is a test for the Niners, Jason, this is also a test for the Cowboys. Is that a fluke or is that the defense? And I think you're going to see explosive plays from this 49ers offense. Not necessarily because Dallas, the defense, is lying to us. It's just this. It's the Niners offense. Christian McCaffrey rolls out of bed and gets 10 yards. That's all he does. And so I think that, to me, is what I'm most interested in, to see if Dallas is lying to us in stopping the big plays or if they are vulnerable. I know no Diggs is going to be huge for them, but they have other guys. Bland has, 3 interceptions already, 2 touchdowns. And I know Jason's saying, McCorkle Jones and Zach Wilson and Dan, all that. I love you, Jason. But Gilmore, all of them back there. And so it's a tough secondary. And then Micah Parsons exists, right? And that alone could blow up some of the big plays the Niners have.
Yes, it
so
could.
Seeing that is going to be interesting just to see how that ends up playing out. The other thing that really Jason brought to my attention was the Niners pass rush thing, because I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter much. Or not pass rush, I apologize. It's secondary. I haven't been on Twitter much recently, so I haven't seen much of the narrative, just doing my own research, But I didn't realize that the Niners were 17th against the pass this year. And Jason and I, we did a live exercise on our podcast, and I got to pull it up. I should have had it ready to go before I mentioned it. The Niners, yes, they have given up the 17th most passing yards in the NFL this year, which doesn't, whatever, that's not that bad. They've also faced the second most pass attempts this year. They have faced 175 pass attempts. They've allowed 873 yards. Number 1, Chicago Bears. They have faced the most pass attempts, 178 pass attempts. Mr. Sam, how many yards do you think they've allowed? Do you think it's anywhere near 873?
Perhaps.
No, it's 1,430.
I was going to say I was going to bet the over.
Yeah. Seattle, second place team, 165 pass attempts against you. They're over 1,000, 1,120. Baltimore's at 673, but then Philadelphia, alleged good football team. I don't know. They made Washington look pretty good last week. 164 pass attempts against 200 more yards. And so, yeah, the Niners are giving up yards because they're facing a lot of pass attempts, because as Jason said, they're blowing teams out.
Blowing people out.
Yeah.
And so, yes.
They're always playing from behind.
On paper, yes, 17th for a defense that's allegedly elite, right? Because they are elite, not allegedly, they are elite. How are they 16th in the league in this one stat? So because teams pass a lot. So I'm curious to see what Dallas does, because they're not necessarily a go deep team right now. They are third in the league. Excuse me, I'm looking for my stat. I lost it. They're third and they're excuse me. Wow, I'm totally lost. Jason, can you finish my thought?
You're the most prepared caller I've ever had on this call-in show.
So the 17th most passing yards, but they're third in the league in passing yards per play. Now, why is that? And that's because the 49ers, and Steve Wilkes talked about this the entire offseason, we will not give up explosive plays. And that's why they are at the bottom of the league in explosive plays. Keep everything in front of you, rally to the football, have that nut job Dre Greenlaw come and knock you out of bounds after the play's been over, all of those things. But that is the point. You can have all those yards. All those yards in context by the end of the game don't matter because the game's over. But per play, they're third in the league. Why is that? It's because they have completely committed to the idea of not giving up explosive plays. And that's exactly what we saw for large stretches of last year, where you're sitting there and you're looking and you're like, man, how is this ball getting over their head? Well, you know what? Tashawn Gibson, Talanoa Hufanga, those guys are not giving up anything now at this point. Everything is all for a reason. Stats need to contextualize what you see on the field. If you're looking primarily at stats, that's what's going to get you in trouble, because if you look and you say, well, the 49ers pass defense is vulnerable, and you post the stat, Dallas Cowboys content creators, whoever you are, that lets me know you haven't watched one single 49ers game and you're not watching any ball and not contextualizing it the right way. I think the 49ers pass defense is fine, and they will finally start to see the sacks rolling.
And then, so what Jason was going to say, just to finish my stat, because I found it. Dallas is 16th in the league offensively, 5.1 yards per play. Typically, you think that a Dallas offense is more high powered than that and big play oriented, but they haven't been there. They've just been kind of going, a little bit at a time. That to me plays into the 49ers' hands because yes, they play back off in space, but once Dallas starts getting into the red zone area, that space is going to constrict. And in those zones that the Niners are running, Dallas, yeah, they can try those short little routes because they're going to have to, but now with less space, the Niners can't back off as far, and that's where the Niners are really going to take advantage. So I'm really curious to see that battle too, of the Niners secondary maybe a little misaligned in terms of their performance because of the yardage, but Dallas isn't exactly doing much. And yes, also on the other side, it plays into they haven't had to throw much, but show me a little something offensively because you still have to run the ball. You still have to run it. Yeah.
Totally.
And that's the other thing, Andrew, is the Cowboys and Dak Prescott, while I don't have a grip on their offense because of all the things that I talked about earlier on. Like when I was looking at their offense and I was watching them on film, I'm just like watching a team that hasn't had to put things on film because the games have like gotten out of hand like way too early. Dak Prescott isn't pushing the ball down the field. That's not an aggressive offense like right now at this point. And all of those things, even if he wants to get aggressive this week, kind of plays into what the 49ers are guarding against. And that's the part that's weird. It's like the one game that the Dallas Cowboys actually had to use their offense was against the Arizona Cardinals. And in that game, Dak Prescott in the red zone. By the way, the Dallas Cowboys are 30th in red zone efficiency. There's only, by my count, 32 teams in my estimation.
I'm checking that right now. Yes, 32.
Sure check that. Yes, 32. So there's only 2 teams worse than them in the red zone. I don't know where the threats come from in the passing game, and that's my thing. The one thing I will say that I guess is me just trying to be biased, but either way, I ended SRO by saying fuck the Cowboys, fuck AT&T Stadium, and all of that stuff or whatever, is Tony Pollard got injured in the divisional game. And I think that was a key point in that game when
we had a good run. We had a good run. We had a great run. I was, that's okay. He's going to come back. I believe in it. I believe in the Jersey Wi-Fi.
I do too. Hold on. Let's while he's gone, let's see.
Mr. Sam, how are you doing today?
Man, I've been a little tired. I'll be honest. I was a little tired today, but at the end of the day, I was like, man, I really want to do this. I'm really glad you guys ended up. This is basically just an SRS show, which is like
there he is.
Yeah, finish the thought.
It's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, as Jason is collecting his internet service, I will say, to the point that we were discussing the secondary not being as, say, what's the word I'm looking for? As grotesque as people may think it is in the context of total passing yards against.
Yes.
There's clearly a hole that John Lynch knows that if he can, he would like to fill. And I think what will be interesting is that clearly as we trend closer to the trade deadline, we are going to encounter teams that were hoping and praying and crossing their fingers that they were going to be able to do something in the playoffs. And it will inevitably be true that they will not make it there. And at that time, it will be very interesting to see who is at the table with respect to not being able to make the playoffs, but having potential chess pieces in their secondary that we can dance with. Obviously, it's going to, if we are going to bring in a piece like that, it would either be one of two things. Either it'd be a player who is sort of in a rental contract scenario where we bring him in, we suck up the price tag, and we don't deal with it next year, or it's going to be someone that we're really certain has a bright future, a contract we can absorb, and we will see how that could fit into our defense. But I mean, scale from 1 to 10, 10 being if we don't get this done, we're not going to win the Super Bowl. How much of a concern, even with the context that you've brought forth with respect to these stats, how much of a concern does the secondary play with respect to our potential Super Bowl chances?
That's a good question, because this isn't the first time we've seen the Niners address secondary issues with edge rushers. Remember back in, what year was it? Was it 18? Year before the Super Bowl, the Niners broke the NFL record, Mr. Sam. Fewest interceptions of the season with 2.
Yep.
2 whole interceptions. That was with a secondary that had Richard Sherman, Akello Witherspoon, Jaquaski Tart, and Jimmy Ward. They're probably injuries, but that was mainly the core. I don't remember 2018 that well. I barely remember last week. How do they address it? Well, they drafted Nick Bosa. They signed, I forget the exact names they signed, but they really shored up the pass rush. And then what happened? Maybe a little help in 2019 week 1 that Jameis Winston was on the other side and starting the first ever 30-30 campaign. And remember, to go 30-30, you have to throw 30 touchdowns. Pretty impressive. They get 3 interceptions in the first game against Jameis Winston. So they already beat that. Is there concerns with the secondary right now? Yes, but I think they're a little maybe over-exaggerated.
Sure.
Just because that second – if the Niners can figure out the second cornerback spot, they're set. Because Charvarius Ward is very good. Diamador Lenore is good.
Correct.
Isaiah Oliver. Now, if I were to ask you this, out of every slot cornerback this year, minimum 70 slot snaps, where do you think Isaiah Oliver ranks in terms of passer rating against?
Good question. Maybe in the NFL or on the 49ers?
In the NFL. In the entire league, in terms of slot cornerbacks, or snaps out of the slot passer rating against, in terms of lowest at number 1, highest is last, where do you think Isaiah Oliver ranks?
14?
Second.
Damn.
60.7 passer rating against out of the slot. Only Kenny Moore out of Indianapolis. He is at 59.4. So in terms of, it feels like people are maybe overreacting a little bit to the preseason still with Isaiah Oliver. I know there's tackle issues we're talking about here, but the secondary just feels like they're that one piece away. And maybe Patrick Surtain's the fun name to float. I don't know how realistic that one is, but the Niners,
but
I don't think it's realistic at all either. It's a fun name to say. I would love Patrick Surtain. I would also love, peak Darrelle Revis to walk through the door. That'd be nice too. Maybe we could sign him. But in terms of that, I don't know. I don't have a specific name for you, but they have plenty of cap space to play with. We'll see where it goes. I don't know if they necessarily address it because Charvarius Ward's signing felt like a big deal because they've never put that much into the secondary in terms of cap space. So it's interesting to see because you remember that offseason, it was everybody wanted JC Jackson, which boy, oh boy, a lot of people were very wrong on JC Jackson. Niner fans should be very happy they got Charvarius Ward. But yeah, man. So I guess to answer the question of how concerned I am in terms of the secondary costing the 49ers a Super Bowl, a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it at a 3 right now because I think there's enough playmakers back there. You still got to remember that Talanoa Hufanga is very good at picking balls off. Totally drawn. Deshaun Gibson. Jesus Christ, Andrew, you're a 49ers podcast. You think I have that name down? Deshaun Gibson. He's still pretty solid. It's a very good secondary. It's missing that one final piece. If they can just get a cornerback who is, and I mean this in the nicest way, just a little bit better than Ambry Thomas.
Yep.
You're set. You're really set in the secondary. And Ambry Thomas did some good things a few years ago. It's just right now it's not working out, obviously. But if they can improve on just that, this defense is perfect. This defense would be literally perfect.
I agree. And look, this Cowboys game is going to be a big test, right? I mean, the only one who really felt like they were doing damage to us in the air was the Rams. Obviously you've got Matthew Stafford, you've got an emerging Puka Nacua. So after this game, I think we'll really be able to judge between 1 and 10 where we're at. I would just put us at a 5, in the sense that we could just swing it either way. So we will look to see. It does appear to be a position of concern. However, I agree with you. I think it perhaps is a little overblown, and I don't think it's as doom and gloom as people might think.
And that thing about the Rams game too, I know it's Matthew Stafford and Nakua and all that. It's also Sean McVay, and I want to make this one little point really quick. I got it off in SRO. I'm gonna get it off here. Is it not concerning that we are talking about a little bit of the conversation this week was Trey Lance and him giving the Cowboys some secret knowledge about the Niners offense or whatever the hell it is? Is it not a concern that the Cowboys played the Niners in the last 2 postseasons? And I don't think, Mr. Sam, that the Niners would hide anything in the playoffs, right? It's not necessarily like a week 5 game. I think you're kind of showing everything. Would it not be a concern that for Mike McCarthy that he needs the Niners' 3rd-string quarterback who started 5 games for them to give them the secrets that the Niners probably already showed them in the past 2 preseason or the postseason games? Would that not be a concern to you if you heard that as a Cowboy fan?
This is all just media fish food.
It is media fish food. It's fun.
Just sprinkle it into the timeline. Hope people, get a bunch of people to bite on it. It's fucking trash.
It's just that's like that was because yes, I never bought into that. Like that's just so ridiculous to me. But like, is that not something that when people are talking about that or thinking about? Because hey, Mike McCarthy, you want to trade for me? Pay me rookie rate. I'll take 7th round pick. I'll tell you all the secrets you need to know about the Niners offense. They're going to get the ball to Christian McCaffrey quite a bit.
Lot. And then Brock Purdy's going to complete a substantial amount of passes.
So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to make that point because that was such a fun conversation that people were having. But it's just like, what's Trey Lance going to tell them that they haven't seen already?
I mean, I love me a good conspiracy theory, and you always do wonder, like, what do they know that they could share? But at the end of the day, there's nothing substantive. I mean, honestly, there was probably more information being communicated by fucking Trent Williams' feet, on the line of scrimmage, than anything Trey Lance could provide them substantively, and even that isn't enough for most teams to beat us.
Should the Niners sign Ben DiNucci to know what center the Cowboys are going to use on the last play of the game this year?
I hope so, dude. I love Ben DiNucci.
I love the Italian gabagool.
Dude, he has to get the nooch.
Anytime you can mention Ben DiNucci, it's a good
it's a solid operation. All right, well, we're going to get into our last segment here, which I'm going to hold you hostage for because I know you want to be here for it. It's called Affirmations, and you're very good at it. So if Jason pops in at the last minute, I'll let him in. I think he just gave up, which is fine. I don't mind people I mean, life is hard. Give up. That's what I always say. Okay, so I'm going to start with Sourdeath Sam. I'm gonna start with fucking George Kittle. You haven't gotten a touchdown yet, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this time. All right. I know this has been an operation that's been taking too long. This is the game because it's the Cowboys, and if there's anyone I need to just stunt on the Cowboys, it's gonna be you because your like pro wrestler energy is gonna hype everyone up.
Colt McKivitz. You're listen. I would not want to be in your position right now because I don't want to block Micah Parsons, but I believe in you. I really do. It's just channel your inner Orlando Pace. I believe you can do it. You're gonna get some help. Just keep your body. Listen. Just form. Ask Brad. Just tweet Brad Graham. He'll help you out. But I believe in you. I believe in you, Colton McKivitz. It's not that scary because next week it's a little scarier because it's the guy that swings helmets at people. So it's just this week, not that scary. So you'll do great. You'll do great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The old helmet swinger, classic.
Yeah.
This one goes out to Debo. I know you're hurting a little bit, little rib action, but this is the game, man. This is a very, very big game, and I know you want it. bad. So this affirmation is, I hope you're healing up. I hope everything is going as it's supposed to be going, because you're going to be an important piece of the puzzle coming up on Sunday.
Randy Gregory.
Ooh, nice.
I know you're not playing Sunday, and that's okay. You take some time. It's no biggie. I'm excited. I'm excited that you're here. It feels like it's gonna. I feel like this is the move that we remember. You remember Marco Scudero in 2012? Remember that trade? How not much people talked about it. Yeah. That's what. And this one probably a little bit. I think Randy Gregory is a little better than Marco Scudero at rushing the quarterback. But I believe in you, man. This is the situation you want to be in. If you want to be a very good pass rusher in the NFL, Chris Kosaric is your man. He will hook it up. You're gonna have help. But go ask Arden Key, go ask Kerry Hyder, go ask plentiful of people. Charles Omenihu, Jordan Willis. Jordan Willis was so good. I wanted to have him wear 52 so I could reuse my Patrick Willis jersey. So Randy Gregory, I love you already. Welcome to the city by the bay, except an hour south.
We hope you love the Cheesecake Factory over there in Santa Clara. And don't forget that there is also a Top Golf for you to enjoy. And who else? Maybe one last person. It's not even a 49er. Zach Wilson. We make fun of you a lot, but you played a good ass game, comparatively to how you've been playing, and I hope you build on it, because as much as we've been, on you, I'm starting to feel bad, and I want it to work, because I think you have potential, and we all saw it before the draft, and we never thought we'd had a chance at you. And I know you're better than what you'd put on tape previous. So keep doing your thing. Respect to you. And at the end of the day, if you play us, I hope you don't do well, because it's Go Niners till I fucking die.
I'll go with the other quarterback that I wanted in that draft, and Justin Fields. Shout out, 8 touchdowns, 2 games.
Yes,
Talk to me
sir.
about it.
Yes,
I love it. That's
sir.
I just wanted to hype Justin Fields up because I'm very excited for him. He's been very fun the past 2 games. It was very fun watching the game last night.
That's so real.
I got another one.
Go ahead. I'll let you sign us off.
Florida State Seminoles.
Oh,
Florida State Seminoles. 5th best team in the country. Excuse me. Johnny Wilson is going to be the second tight end Kyle Shanahan would love, because he's big, he's physical, and he drops the ball. We love it. He's going to be very, very good. I'm so excited for Florida. Like, this isn't even affirmations anymore. This is Andrew talking Florida State football.
That's fine.
This is such a good. This is the most invested I've been in Florida State football since Jameis was there.
That is so real. Well, I mean, shout out Coach Norvell, because we were
Keon Coleman.
I think he's such a sab, dude. There's so many people on that team where I'd be like, I'd love to see you in our
Verse.
offense.
Oh my God, I would. If I were the Niners, I would do the Trey Lance trade, but for Verse out of Florida. I forget his first name. I apologize. I'm not well versed in pun intended in first names. The pass rusher, yeah, you know who I'm talking. Is it Jared? Is it Jared Verse? Yes, it is. It's Jared Verse. I remembered. I would trade everything for Jared Verse on the 49ers.
So real, dude.
There you go.
And we have one last affirmation from the comment section. Affirmation for Ambry Thomas. Just try your best and have fun. I like that. Well, I am getting hungry, brother, and I am going to sign off. Any last message for the fans before we hop into the official Cowboys weekend?
Have fun, man. I mean, there's a reason Carrie Underwood says she's been waiting all day for Sunday night. It's for games like this. These are games that you get excited for. It doesn't even. This could be a 10 a.m. This could be a Thursday night game, and this is a game you get up for. But for it to be prime time, man, it's something special. So enjoy it, have fun, and remember that if it goes the wrong way, this game means way more to them than it means to us. So just keep that in mind.
True.
Keep that in mind.
So true. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Pasquini, thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm signing off as well. Thank you for hopping on this Friday. I really appreciate it. It was supposed to be a call-in show. No one else called in but my friends, but that's okay because it just worked out amazingly. So many good stats, so many good insights. Andrew came in real clutch with those, and when we had him, Jason Aponte, a great contribution as well. We applaud him being on the show. So thank you very much. You guys have a safe weekend, and let's fucking fuck the Cowboys up.